Some 60% of humanity. By comparison, the official poverty line in the United States is approximately $11 a day. Almost 4 times more than most of the people in the world subsist on. What this means, Elgin says, is that grinding poverty and the absence of opportunity are the way of life for the majority of human beings today. And let's be clear what we are talking about here. We are not talking about the kind of poverty that makes it impossible to buy the latest car or to afford a computer. Elgin reports that in Russia, more than 44 million people live on less than $1 a day. In China, that number is 350 million. In India, it is 500 million. It is startling to realize that in the first decade of the new millennia, nearly 80% of Indians do not have access to electricity. And in Indonesia, the poverty is so extreme that doctors at 2 clinics said the number of patients had fallen by half because people could no longer afford to pay the consultation fee, which was the equivalent of 5 cents in US currency. Worldwide, almost 3 billion people, 50% of the world's population, use wood as their primary source of energy. From these observations, it becomes clear that even today, only the smallest number of humans enjoy the largest number of the benefits of humanity's evolution. You are facing a systems crisis of the first rank. That is putting it gently. Elgin reports that over half the people on our planet are living on an impoverished diet, without access to health care, in shanty towns, without power, clean water, or fire, or police protection. Will we or will we not take collective responsibility for the health of the human family on our planet? Dwayne asks. How we respond to that wake-up call will be a direct measure of our maturity as an evolving species. If you want this situation to change, if you want to head off the collapse of the entire system that has produced such inequities, you will explore the possibility of bringing a new spirituality to the planet sooner rather than later. Because the problem here is spiritual. It is not economic, it is not political, it is certainly not military. It has to do with what people believe about each other, about their relationship to each other, about God, and about life. But you will create critical mass around the idea of changing things if, and only if, you get that not to change things is creating critical mass in another direction, a direction that you may not wish to take. In other words, we had better change things, or things are going to change for us in ways that we do not prefer. In fact, as you yourself just said, they are. And when these things that we do not prefer start to really mount up, we will change. We will change our ideas about life, if only as a means of survival. Not if only, primarily as a means of survival. You will change. If your survival is directly threatened, you will do what you have to do. You will even change your most sacred and long-held beliefs about yourselves, about God, about life, about everything if you have to. You will always choose survival. Make no mistake about that. You are encoded to do so. This instinct is, as I said earlier, built in. Life is functional, adaptable, and sustainable, always. And if you have to choose just exactly what it is that is going to survive your species or the beliefs of your species, you will choose your species and abandon your beliefs. You would abandon those beliefs that are killing you, that are impairing your ability to survive right now. But the negative effect on most of your most damaging beliefs is so insidious, is so slow in showing itself, that you do not recognize them as being damaging. Suppose if aliens were attacking Earth, as in some of those science fiction films, we would change our ideas fast. We would change our ideas about being separate from each other. We would change our ideas about competing with each other and about how important it is that we believe in God in different ways. Very little of this would matter to us. We would see life as the prime value and instinctively serve life first. We would join together to do what we could do to ward off the invaders. We would share our most secret technologies in a heartbeat so that we could continue to have a heartbeat, and we would forget our differences rather than let them get in the way of our serving life first. If we were thrown into that kind of fire, we would get out fast. But we are not in that kind of fire. We are as lobsters in a cooking pot. The water is heating, but oh so slowly, and the lobsters do not know enough to crawl out. They do not even attempt to until it is too late. Perhaps it would be better if unfriendly aliens attacked us. You do not need unfriendly aliens to attack you. You are acting as unfriendly aliens with each other, and you are attacking yourselves. You have thrown yourselves into the flames of your own fire. It has been ignited by the basic misunderstandings of humans about God and about life, fallacies that have placed fear in the mind and hatred in the heart of humanity. And these fallacies are explained with such wonderful clarity in the New Revelations. So I don't want to go into enormous detail here, but can we just list them? What are the biggest fallacies about God and about life that do the most to produce crisis, violence, killing, and war in our human societies? Your biggest fallacies about God are: 1, that God needs something. 2, that God can fail and get what God needs. Okay. Biggest fallacies. Number 2, God can fail to get what God needs. Number 3, God has separated you from God because you have not given God what he needs. 4, God still needs what God needs so badly that God now requires you from your separated position to provide it. 5, God will destroy you if you do not meet God's requirements. These fallacies about God are destructive enough, but they completely overwhelm humanity when combined with the fallacies about life to which they have given birth. Many human beings, most, actually believe that 1, human beings are separate from each other. 2, there is not enough of what human beings need to be happy. 3, to get the stuff of which there is not enough, human beings must compete with each other. 4, some human beings are better than other human beings. 5, it is appropriate for human beings to resolve severe differences created by all other fallacies by killing each other. Humanity's major fallacies about God and about life make for a deadly litany of error that has created and continues to create to this very moment a world of deep anger, brutal violence, terrible loss, unrelenting sorrow, and unremitting terror. You think you are being terrorized by other people, but in truth, you're being terrorized by your beliefs. These are what you must change if you are ever to realize your dream of a world living in peace, harmony, and happiness. If you wish to sustain life as you know it, if you wish to have something to pass on to your children, and to your children's children, you will have to pay serious attention to giving birth to a set of beliefs, a new human theology, a new spirituality. Not a replacement of the old, but an enhancement of it. Not an abandonment of your present religions, but a revitalization of them. You are going to have to revitalize religion if you are going to revitalize life and sustain it in its present form. For religion, which is just another word for what you believe, is the bedrock of your civilization. Your beliefs create your behaviors, and I repeat, that is true whether you believe in what you call God or not. For these reasons, I have come to you now, for your world waits in silent apprehension. It's people living in fear of the next great devastation, the next outbreak of war, the next fast-spreading virus, the next ecological disaster, the next terrorist attack, the next upheaval, as if the struggles of the day-to-day survival were not enough. I have come to you at this critical juncture in your species' history to bring you news of tomorrow's God, of the kind of faith that humanity will create, of the kind of beliefs that humanity will embrace in its future, and to invite humanity to create that future in the present moment of now. Love, life, and blessings.